All right, welcome in, everyone. We'll go ahead and get started with Zach Rosen.
Coach, I know the headlines will be about Russ and Brad, but what did you think of how your role guys like Neto and Anthony Gill stepped up tonight?
Well, I think Neto's been playing like hard all year. He's just a winning basketball player. Makes so many uh, things that the stat sheet doesn't really actually tell you what the impact that he has. He just plays with a pure heart. He plays hard. You can just see he enjoys the competition. And AG, I'm proud of him. He hasn't played much. The guy works harder than anybody on our team. He comes in every day. He comes in early. He's always cheering his teammates on. He's the first one up. He's always encouraging them. And sometimes I've been on teams that don't appreciate that role, but I appreciate that role that he has with our team. And it's great that he came in, gave us minutes. I felt that we needed a little jolt. We were too loose in that first half, just letting it. It was a summer league game, playing a pickup game, and we were going down a not a good road, and we are going to end up, who has the ball last or who makes a few shots at the end type of mentality. But I thought him starting in the third quarter kind of gave us a little sense of urgency, and they only scored, I think, 41 points in that second half.
Ava.
Yeah, Scott, I was going to ask more about the kind of defensive shift in the third quarter. Was there something said at halftime? Was it just Anthony bringing more of that energy? It looked like Brad and Russ were being more involved as well.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that was said at halftime was just wake the up. And the film session was really telling us that. And we just said, that all I had to do is just keep saying that after every film, after every clip. And I thought we did. We came out with an urgency. This team hasn't won a game in a while. They're gonna want to win. They're not trying to lose. We knew that we had to play with more urgency and commitment and focus, and it had to be on the defensive end. We could score. We were turning the ball over too many times on offense, but I thought our defense. I thought Rolo. I mean, he didn't have his his low post opportunities as much, but he impacted the game defensively, and they put some small lineups on it. I thought he did a good job also in that second half.
And I believe this is your guys' longest win streak now in a couple of years, I think since 2017. I mean, I feel like I ask you this every game, but just for that to happen this year, when you're down two starters, I guess, are you surprised by that at all?
Yeah, not as this season has gone on, nothing is going to surprise me anymore, because I'm not like I'm expecting, things to happen. I'm expecting things. I'm expecting guys to just keep fighting. And did I anticipate we would have a 7-game win streak and would have 11 out of our last 16 games during a pretty tough stretch? No, but I just knew that we were just going to keep fighting. We got to stay hungry, and like Brad said it after the game, we got to keep our head down. We got to keep our head down and keep focused, and we haven't done anything yet. All we've done is win the games 7 in a row, but it's a great feat, but we still got a lot of work to do, and we're not where we want to be. We want to get involved and stay involved, and who knows, we might be able to keep moving up.
Chase.
Scott, Lou Dort seems like a pretty tough defensive matchup, but Brad also didn't seem to have much trouble with him at all. Why do you think he was able to have so much success in that matchup?
Brad's one of the best players in the league, and he's up there with the league leading scorers, whether he's first or second. He's doing that. He's doing that on all 29 teams. He doesn't just only a few teams here and there. He can score on anybody. He's that type of scorer. And we set great screens, and Russell delivers the ball on target. So there's a combination on why Brad gets good looks and why Brad scores. It's obviously his talent is through the rooftop, but he's also his big, set great screens, and the spacing guys. There's space in the floor, and Russell delivers the ball onto him at the right time. So Dort is good. I mean, Dort is another young developing player that's going to be a probably one of the better two-way players in the league. They got themselves a good one, and I don't even know if he was drafted.
And we mentioned the season-long win streak. Just what are some of the things over these last 7 games that you think have really stood out that you'd like to keep rolling?
Just playing with an edge, not worrying about, who's in, who's out. We got to just scramble. We got to find a way. Like tonight, we played a lot of guys that, played. We didn't anticipate the injuries we would have in our 2 starters. Actually, really 3 starters. But we found a way. I thought, like I said, AG's, I'm proud of him, and that's hard to do. But he's always, one thing about him, he's always locked in. And even during timeouts, he's looking at the board like he's going to be subbed in. And I appreciate that, and I admire that. But I'm glad that he came in and made some shots. Gave us a big lift on both ends of the floor. That's obviously Russell and Brad they had monster games, but they can't win a game by themselves. They need the other guys to step up, and we've been stepping up as a group for each other.
Fred.
Hey, Scott. What allows Neto to be so good at kind of getting into passing lanes, poking the ball away, but still not getting caught on the bad side of gambling very often?
Yeah, because he has a great pursue. He doesn't. The crazy thing is, I tell players all the time. You have a choice. You can get screened or not get screened, and he chooses not to get screened. And if he does, he just doesn't die on it. He's not a Velcro. He goes around and pursues the basketball, and he has good anticipation. His defensive instincts are good. His defensive care level is good, and that's why he's plays. That's why we're willing to go with the 3-guard lineup. Because it doesn't matter how. The height of a player is so overrated. Everybody says, that the heart is what counts, and that's true. There's been a lot of successful small players in the league that just have a big heart, like Neto, but his heart is much bigger than his game.
Matt.
Hey, Scott, I know you said a lot that once we just stack up games, we can really start to get into a rhythm. I guess, how have you seen that pay off defensively? Like, what are you guys kind of doing now that you really see the benefit of that rhythm?
Well, we've had some, I don't even know if we've had like the consistency rhythm of players in and out. We just had games as consistently, and I think our guys are, I don't know, I wouldn't say they bought in, because I think they were always trying to buy in. We just didn't have a rhythm. We didn't have some, early in the season and then the COVID, the injuries, but now we seem to have enough healthy guys at the right time. And like I said, Rui will be back. Unfortunately, Denny's out, but Rui will be back, and I don't know when, but I think that has actually helped us. The games with the majority of our guys getting some minutes, and I've cut down the rotations too. I try to stay with the 9-man rotation and give guys extra minutes so they can find a better rhythm. And I think that's also helped. It takes some guys out of the mix, but my job is to put our team in the best position, not every player. That's not how the league works.
Is there something you're seeing with the defense that makes it particularly effective? Just guys closing out, making the right rotation? What is it that's stands out to you?
No, I think our bigs are doing a good job of, if they're not altering a shot, they're there. Sometimes the ball doesn't go in to the key, and I think our guards are doing a better job of contesting shots. And like tonight in the first half, we had trouble staying in front of the ball because we weren't staying square. We were opening up and giving them driving angles. I told them during one timeout, some of our defensive footworks, I can go by you guys. And then we changed. Sometimes the little subtle adjustments help. And I thought that did, and we did in the second half, but we were scrambling. As you saw tonight, there's probably 20 plays in every game. You have a scramble situation. you got to keep thinking the next play, the next pass, and react to it, and then just keep scrambling. I thought we scrambled as well as we did in the second half than we've done all season.
All right, last question to Neil.
Hey, Scott, on Rui, what is he currently able to do or not do? And what does he need to feel and maybe accomplish, like getting a workout or whatever that might be before he can return?
Yeah, I think he got a small workout today. Maybe I'm mixing my days up. I thought he was going to get a small workout before the game. I haven't asked, obviously, the game and after the game, I haven't asked, but I think he's getting a small workout. I don't know what that means. I'd love to have him back the next game, but like all of our players, it's more important that they're ready when their body tells them they're ready. And he's working. Our trainers are working. Our performance teams, everybody is working, doing their job. But he's going to have to be on the court a little bit. I don't know if it was going to be tonight, or if it was tonight, hopefully he comes back, does even more tomorrow.
But still feeling better each and every day?
Yeah, no, every day I don't like to ask players every day how you feeling, because I don't want to put that type of pressure on them. But I wait every other day. But I didn't ask him today, but from what they're telling me, he's feeling better every day. It's a matter of, hopefully not long.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, see you guys.
Hello, Raul. Congratulations on the win.
Gracias.
First of all, how enjoyable for you to share the court with Bradley and Russell? How easy make your game? And do you believe that at this point of the season, as a team, you play the best basketball as a team?
Yeah, I think so. I think after we got it going the beginning of the season, it was just a matter of guys staying healthy. We got some tough injuries, guys missing a couple games, and that kind of takes the rhythm of our team. When we got the main guys playing most of the games, we got everybody else going. I think that's been the key for us in this last stretch. Playing with Russ and Brad makes it just easier for you, I think. I mean, at least me personally. Just open the court. Russ is a great playmaker, so he's gonna find you open. He's gonna attack the paint and get everybody on him and create for others. And Bradley, he's gonna score, but also he's gonna bring a lot of people to himself. So he opens the court a lot. So I think that helps not only for me but for most of the guys. But yeah, I think we're playing our best basketball right now.
Fred.
Hey, Raul. I was just wondering, how do you weigh the process? You get a lot of steals, but you're not really a gambler. How do you weigh the process of when to go for a steal and when you think it might leave your teammates out to dry?
I mean, I do gamble sometimes, not much, I think, but I think it's just being focused the whole time. I think being ready if you see an opportunity to try to go for a steal or to get hands on the basketball. I think it's a mental thing. I think it's just being ready, being in a position that you can explode out anytime you need, and just use my instincts. I think that's how I got most of my steals. And like you say, I try not to gamble a lot because sometimes if you do and you don't get it, you put the team in a bad situation. But I just try to use my instincts. Sometimes, I mean, most of the times this season has worked. Sometimes I put the team in a bad situation, but guys understand that that's my game defensively, and they try to like support me even if I miss a steal and I put the team in a bad situation. They know that most of the times I'm not going to do that.
And when you came here, the Wizards already obviously had two point guards on the roster with Ish ahead of you, and then I guess it was John at the time, and then Russell. Did you expect to be getting this much playing time by this point of the season?
I mean, you as a player, you always want to get as much time as much playing time as you can. To be honest, I didn't know. Our conversations in the summer wasn't like I'm gonna play 30 minutes a game. But I think just earning my spot, not stepping in anybody's foot, but just being competitive and just doing everything to help the team. And I think coach saw that on me, and he's giving me the time. Honestly, I did not expect to be playing that much, but I'm happy I am, and I'm gonna try to stay healthy and keep improving, keep helping the team, and hopefully we can make that play in the playoffs and go far.
Zach.
Well, just generally, how is in starting the last couple games, and has it changed kind of your prep now? I know you started in Utah at one point, but just going into the game with a different mentality, or what's it been like?
I think the only thing that changes, you got to be ready from the start. Sometimes when you're coming out of the bench, you got 5-7 minutes on the game to kind of like get you ready mentally and get you ready physically. Kind of like I'm a guy that needs to do a couple jumps and a couple hops before getting to the game. And when you start, you don't have that time on the bench. I think that's the only thing it changed. But I try to start strong and bring the same energy that I bring coming out of the bench when I start. And I think that's what the team expects from me, and that's what I gotta do. But I don't think it changed nothing on my game mentality.
You're obviously getting more open looks with that starting unit. Is there a difference in like your shooting, because you can be a little bit more warm than before when you're coming off the bench just cold sitting there?
I try not to think that. I try to, as soon as I step on the court, I'll be ready to take the first shot. Sometimes it's more like a mental thing, I just got into the game. I gotta feel the basketball first before I take a shot. But I've been games that I don't play for a whole quarter and I just come in and knock 2-3 threes in a row. So I think it's just a mental thing. I just gotta be tough mentally. But I think it's when I'm playing the shooting guard and not the point guard, that's what I have to do, just space and be ready to take those shots. When I play the point guard and I'm playing more pick and rolls and creating for others and trying to find my own shot, I think that's the only thing that changed depending on who I'm playing with on the court.
All right, last question to Chase.
Hey, Anthony Gill got a rare opportunity tonight and really made the most of it. Coach Brooks said he was proud of him. Just what did you think about him getting that chance and making the most of it?
I mean, he worked harder than anybody I've seen. I think he's always on the court. He's always ready. He's always with a great energy, with a great positivity, and I think he brings that even when he don't play. So I think everybody on the team is happy for him. We know how hard he works, and honestly, I think he got a lot better from the beginning of the season, just getting the work in, working on his body and working on his game. I'm glad he got the opportunity, and I'm glad he was big for us. He brought the energy. He got a couple rebounds. He made a three, and I'm very happy for him. And I think he's gonna stay ready and stay working. That's just him.
And this is the longest win streak you guys have had in a few years. And, obviously there's been some low moments this season for you guys. How gratifying is it to be playing this well after all that you guys have been through this year?
I mean, we got a lot of new guys on the team. So it takes a little time to get everybody going. We've know what we can do since the beginning. I think one thing that Russ always tried to keep in our mind is how good we are. Even though we were not winning games at the beginning, we were having good games. We beat some good teams, so we know our what we can do on this league, and I think that's the most important thing. And not getting tired of doing the same thing over and over. We've been doing for the last 7-8 games, and we gotta keep doing it to the end.
All right, Raul. Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
mute. Anthony, what has the season been like for you? Raul just got finished telling us how much work you've been putting in, obviously with not a ton of practice time and not a ton of playing time until 20 minutes tonight. When have you been able to get on court, and what have you been kind of focusing on?
Yeah, so I just been really working hard all year, like the guys have said. You know, for me, finding my role here has been really important. I want to help as much as I can. When I told myself when I came in was find a role and help out. You know, whatever it is, whatever coach needs, you got to be that guy. So every day, if we have practice or days off, I'm always in the gym, just working as hard as I possibly can. You know, there's a lot of us in the gym. It's not just me. There's a collection of a lot of us who are not getting the minutes, you know, on the court. So we have to do all the work behind the scenes, and we really enjoy it. And when we get times like tonight, when we actually get to come in and work hard, we love it.
And we see you in games out there pacing. You're always like right on the front of the side, like in Rolo's face almost. But what's the key for you to staying locked in?
It's a couple things. You know, one, I want to let my teammates know I'm right there for them, even though I'm not on the court. I want them to feel my support throughout the entire game. And also, I just want to stay ready, you know, stay loose. I didn't know I was going to get in tonight. And you got to keep your body ready throughout the whole game, even if you're not in. So I just had to stay ready.
Chase.
Anthony, Neto actually went further than that. He said you're the hardest working guy he's ever seen. And Coach Brooks said you might be the hardest worker on the team. So could you maybe elaborate on why you think they may say that? Like what kind of things do you do to put in the extra work that these people are noticing?
Yeah, for me, it's been big this year and every year, you know, no matter what team I'm on and where I'm at in the country or out of the country, to be the hardest worker. You know, I want to be the first one in the gym and the last one to leave. That's always my goal. You know, and it's good to see that, you know, you guys have noticed. You know, I don't do it for everyone to notice. I do it to, you know, support the team as best I can and set the tone as far as, you know, working hard. You know, I figure if I'm in the gym every day, then so can everybody else. And, you know, I just want to motivate everybody I can in whatever way I can.
Fred.
Anthony, building off of that, what is your preparation like when you don't know if you're going to get into the game, and then all of a sudden you're thrown into, you know, the second half of a game that's already happening? I shouldn't ask what is your preparation like. More, what part of your preparation are you relying on most in those moments when you get thrust into a game like that?
Yeah, for me, it's all the work that I put in. You know, I work every day extremely hard for the opportunity like tonight. You know, it's tough, you know, going into the game and never knowing whether or not you're going to play, or, you know, going into a game and we are up by 20 and then coach puts you in the last 2 minutes of the game and your legs aren't working like everybody else is on the court, you know, because they've been playing for a while. But you have to love it. You know, for me, I've enjoyed every single moment of this year, learning from these guys who have played here so long, learn from Coach Brooks, learn from everyone. And, you know, it really makes it a lot easier when there's guys going through similar situations. You know, that we got a group of us guys who don't play a lot and we call ourselves the trenches, you know, and we work hard every single day. And I love being with those guys, and we motivate each other by working hard on the court. You know, it's not just me in the gym every day alone. It's those guys too. So.
All right, and last question to Zach.
AG, for you to just play alongside Russ and Brad and see what they're doing on any given night, how special has it been for you, kind of, you know, your first true NBA season to be along that ride?
It's been fun, you know, to learn and watch these guys play at the highest level and be consistently great every night. You know, for Brad to score as much as he does every night, for Russell to be as dominant as he is every single night. A lot of people take it for granted, you know, and it's not easy averaging a triple-double or scoring as many points as Brad does. And a lot of people just overlook that, and it really is hard. So here comes B right now. So I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you, Anthony.
Like how you did that? That's respect. That's a lot of guy AG.
What's up, Brad?
What up?
How are you?
Half decent.
All right. Go ahead, Chase.
Well, Brad, I'll start by asking you about Anthony Gill. Coach Brooks was talking about how proud he is for the opportunity that he got and took advantage of it. What'd you say? What was your perspective?
First, praise my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It was exactly that. Taking advantage of an opportunity you're given. AG is one of our best teammates. He's one of our hardest workers. He doesn't complain. He shows up every day and puts the work in. And as you guys know, it's all about opportunity and being ready when your name is called. And, when he was called in the first half, he came in, gave us good minutes, and he ended up starting in the second half and continuing to do the same thing. So it was a great game for him. It was a hell of a game for him. We needed him to continue to play the way he was doing. And, I'm happy for him, too, because he deserves it, for sure.
7 straight wins. That matches the longest win streak of your career, going back to the 2017 season. Just what's it been like being part of this, especially given all that you guys have been through this season to get to this point?
That means a lot. It's just a testament to our growth throughout the year. We had some of the most craziest stories happening to our team, injuries and COVID and all that. And we never really had a chance to really be full. We're still not full. But we got a lot of our guys back, got the guys off minutes, like I always say, and we're just playing our best basketball right now. Thankfully, so right before this last push. So, we're just like I always say, we're taking it a game at a time. We're not getting bored with success. We're not getting tired of doing what works for us, and we're continuing to put our best foot forward. We can't take any steps back or worry about what's happened in the past. We can only just continue to move forward a day at a time.
Ava.
Brad, you guys earlier in the year, I guess, hadn't always been able to make in-game adjustments, especially on defense. It certainly looked like you did tonight coming out in the third quarter. Did that feel like an easier transition for you with this team? And how are you guys, what was, I guess, the mindset that went into that, or the adjustment that went into that?
Defense is just all about a will and a want to, get the job done. And I think it's another thing. It's a testament to our growth. We all individually and as a team, basically told ourselves we have to be better defensively in order for us to win. We know what our roles are. We know what we're capable of doing. We know who's going to have the ball the majority of the time on offense. It's just controlling the controllables. We can control our efforts on defense. You can control helping your teammate. You can control boxing out. Not everybody can control making shots because we'd be 100%. So, it's just a matter of us just staying with that, staying grounded, keeping some humility because we still haven't accomplished anything, but, also be in the back of our heads hungry for more, because we have success, things have been working and we just got to continue to harp on those things and continue to perfect them.
And we also asked you this earlier in the year about your relationship with Russ, but you guys have obviously been so hot lately during this streak. How has that on-court relationship evolved? Does it feel more nuanced now? Does it feel easier for you guys to play off of each other, or has it pretty much been the same all year?
Yeah, we just flow off each other. I basically read his game, and he's always aggressive and looking, to create for guys, and he always just tells me to attack and score and just be myself. So it's grown. It's been fantastic since day one. We've both accepted each other. We both respect each other's game, and I feel like he just makes us a better team. He continues to lift his teammates. And he challenges himself. He uplifted himself throughout the year, so it's always great to be able to have a guy like that. And our chemistry is going to continue to get better.
Thanks, Brad.
Mm-hmm.
Fred.
Hey, Brad. Dort's a very physical defender, and you seem to respond to physical defenders with offensive physicality yourself. When did you hit that point in your career that you realized you could kind of match any physical defender's physicality yourself?
I would say growing up, playing against my 4 football playing brothers. I think I can say playing against them all the time prepared me for a lot of physicality. Granted, as a young kid, the game is different. It's fast. You're learning it. But I will say I've always been a physical caliber guy. I've never shied away from contact. I've always indulged in it, and I always respect guys who like Dort, who go out there and play hard. Like he's a physical specimen as is, and he uses it to his advantage. And it kind of uplifts me. It kind of forces me to, be on my P's and Q's, because you can't afford to, have a guy like that clamp you. You gotta make sure you're engaged and figuring out ways to create and staying aggressive at all times. But I would credit my all four of my brothers for that.
Zach.
Brad, there's no way you're going to know this because I know that would be your response, but you're tied now and about to move into the top 5 in games played for the Wizards all time already. Just what does that mean to you? I know you've talked a lot about leaving a legacy with the franchise. Just seeing that now in that top 5.
Oh, that's crazy. Who's in first? Walt?
I believe Wes on sale.
Oh, Wes? How many games? 1,000?
Something like that. I'll look it up while you answer.
It's a lot of games. I mean, that's huge. One, I just want to make sure I'm always healthy, and I always feel like if I'm healthy, I'm always going to go out there and give it my all. But it's testament to being here. This organization is great. I've poured a lot into it, and trying to make sure I'm on the floor. My first couple of years, I didn't have that luxury. So on the back end, I always just try to make sure that my availability is the best me. When I'm available, you're going to get something good out of me. So that's huge. Let's keep it going.
984.
584. That's what I'm at.
All right, he's at 984, and you're at 595.
Sheesh. Man, I'm in 9 years. It took me 500. God bless America.
Good luck.
Yeah. Gotta make some playoff games.
All right, last question to Neil.
Hey, Brad. First off, I like the jacket.
My man.
For you guys, very early in the season, I remember Garrison saying, we don't have that losing mentality as a team, even though, we might be losing games right now. It seems, very much easier said than done to not fall into that mentality. How have you guys accomplished as a group this season getting to here where you guys are finally reaping the benefits of not having that losing mentality carry over?
It's definitely tough, one, because, it's one really hard to win in this league. We all know that. And nobody comes out, giving you a game. And I've been on teams we've lost 10 in a row, and it's never fun. It's very hard to get out of that mindset of just losing, so it's tough for sure. But, when G said that earlier in the year, we believed it. We believed in ourselves every step of the way. And it was just a matter of us just putting it together, how there was nothing no one else could do. It was nothing, there was nothing new that you can point at that we didn't already know. It was like, okay, how can we just put it together? And it just clicked. I have no idea what game it was. But we just started flowing, we started clicking, started defending, and it just took off from there. And, once we started realizing that was kind of our recipe for success, we stuck with it.
Thanks, Brad.
Yep.
All right, Brad. Appreciate you.
Thanks, man. Neil, this is nice. This is nice, Supreme. I'm gonna get you one.
Hey, appreciate it.
If they're not out of stock, I got you. It was going like hotcakes when I ordered.
Looks comfortable.
Russ, how happy were you for Anthony Gill to step up tonight and get that opportunity and come through?
Oh, man, very excited, man. He put so much work in. I see him every day putting extra work in to get your number called and be ready to go. It's a blessing for him, I know. He's super excited. I'm super happy for him, just on many levels, because he do all the right things. And when you do all the right things, you're supposed to get rewarded. And, he got rewarded tonight.
Neil.
Hey, Russ. Very early in the season, Garrison was like, we might not be winning games right now, but we're not taking on that mentality of a losing team, feeling like we're a losing team. I'm sure it's easier said than done, but how have you guys gotten to this point where, okay, things didn't necessarily go great to start the season, but you guys just kept moving, kept pushing, and are able to now reap some benefits?
Just take one day at a time. You know, you always, like I've always said, since the start of the year, it's going to be ups and downs in the season. Main thing is always keep your best foot forward, stay positive, even when at the darkest times. You know, through adversity is where, you know, you show who you really are, not just when things are going well. So if you do that, it doesn't matter win or lose games, you always keep your head straight. And that's a part of my job to make sure that as a team, we make sure we do that.
Is that something that you have noticed with your new teammates that, yeah, they're starting to learn that and they're starting to feel and believe that?
You know, I think so. I think it's a good thing. Confidence is a huge part of it, but not just that, but actually believing that you can do something great is another thing. And that's a part of keep instilling that into their, you know, mentalities and make sure they got that coming to every game.
Thanks, Russ.
Yeah.
Chase.
Hey Russ, you mentioned how hard Anthony Gill works. We've heard that from other people tonight. How has he kind of earned your respect with his work ethic this year?
You know, I respect everybody, every player, because the ability to get to this level, you got to have a mutual respect. And once you get here, it's what you do with the opportunity. And Anthony works his tail off every single day, every morning. He does all the right things. And like I said, when you see that happen, you want to make sure guys like that get rewarded. And it's a blessing to be able to see him on the floor and do great things.
And in the second half, there was a moment where I think you got a whistle for like kicking the ball into the basket. And I'm just wondering kind of like what happened in that moment. Was that just kind of like out of frustration or what was?
No, I wasn't frustrated. I just kicked the ball, delay game. Why would I be frustrated? We up 12 points, 14 points.
That's fair.
No, I wasn't frustrated, but just, you know, doing Russell things, just, you know, in the game, nothing about it, honestly.
Cliff.
Yeah, Russ, what was it like being in this building, known to be one of the loudest buildings in the league, with no fans?
Now it's definitely different. That's different, especially for me, coming here being so silent. That's a little different. I'm pretty sure it's probably different for those guys too in the other locker room as well.
All right, last question to Christos.
Art, from your perspective in the last 7-game stretch for your team, and how comfortable you feel in that building tonight?
In this one?
Yes.
Well, very comfortable. I was here for a while.
And about the last 7 games, what is the most impressive part for your team and the way that you play?
You know, I think for us, we just trying to take one game at a time. Like I said, you move forward, you take one game. This game is now behind us. Now you got to get ready for the next matchup and go from there. Thank you.
All right, Russ.
Appreciate
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right, guys.